Welcome to this explainer. Right now, we're right in the middle of the most massive operational rewiring the global business world has seen since, well, the invention of the assembly line. Today, we're digging into exactly how top-tier organizations are successfully scaling the biggest technological shifts of our time. We're moving way past that initial hype, those small, isolated pilot programs, to figure out how to capture real, organization-wide value. The rules of the game are fundamentally changing. So if you want to know how the absolute best are navigating this transition and actually doing the work, you are in the exact right place.
Here is our roadmap for today. First up, the dual enterprise revolution. 2. Electrifying commercial fleets. 3. The rise of agentic AI. 4. Escaping pilot purgatory. And finally, 5. The secrets of high performers. We're going to put a massive physical shift right next to a massive digital one and extract the shared universal formula for scaling success.
Section 1. The Dual Enterprise Revolution.
I want to start off by asking you to think about this directly. Is your business proactively redesigning its operating model, or are you just passively waiting around to be disrupted? Because across every industry right now, making that jump from legacy systems to next-gen tech is proving to be incredibly tough. Think about what legacy friction actually feels like inside a modern company. It's those clunky 15-year-old ERP systems that literally take minutes to load a single page. It's the disconnected spreadsheets getting ping-ponged around via email. It's the highly manual processes that bottleneck speed and just totally frustrate your top talent. Modernizing these deep-rooted systems is so much harder than simply buying a new software license or rolling in a shiny new piece of equipment.
Across the enterprise today, we're basically seeing two massive shifts happening on parallel tracks. On the physical side, you've got the transition of commercial logistics fleets to electric vehicles. And on the digital side, we have the enterprise deployment of agentic AI. Conceptually, whether you're ripping out internal combustion engines across a huge logistics network or totally overhauling cognitive knowledge work in a corporate office, the friction points of modernizing your business are surprisingly similar. Let's dig into the physical side first to see exactly how this plays out in the real world.
Section 2. Electrifying commercial fleets.
Picture this. You're a fleet logistics manager at a major shipping company, and you're looking out over your active EV charging depot. It's no longer just a static parking lot. It's a highly complex, dynamic energy hub. Say you've got 50 electric delivery vans that all return from their routes at exactly 6 p.m. If you just plug them all in at the exact same time, that sudden power draw is going to cause a massive spike. Your utility company will hit you with absolutely astronomical demand charges, and honestly, you might even overload the local grid and cause a total failure. You have to make sure every single van has the precise amount of charge it needs for tomorrow's specific route while perfectly balancing the energy draw. It's a high-stakes, super complex energy puzzle that requires an entirely new way of running physical infrastructure.
And the scale of this puzzle is growing at a completely unprecedented rate. The global EV fleet management system market is projected to hit an incredible $38.7 billion by 2034. That is a massive leap from the roughly $12.5 billion we're at today. So why the explosion in growth? Well, it's being fueled by a powerful convergence of catalysts. You've got aggressive regulatory emissions targets from governments, massive corporate sustainability mandates, and the fact that battery life cycle costs are finally crossing a crucial tipping point. Fleet operators are pushing hard into this because there's a promise of up to a 40% reduction in total cost of ownership. But capturing those profound operational savings, it is absolutely not automatic.
Electrifying a fleet demands a completely new three-pillar ecosystem. First up, the hardware. We're not just talking about a heavy-duty wall outlet here. We mean advanced DC fast chargers and vehicle-to-grid tech that can actually push power back to the utility. Second, you need the software. You've got to have cloud-based platforms using AI to dynamically optimize your charging times. Doing that can seamlessly slash your energy costs by up to 30% just by charging when grid rates are at their lowest. And finally, services. This transition demands entirely new financing models to handle the heavy upfront capital and totally new predictive maintenance schedules. Because EVs don't need oil changes, but they sure do need intense thermal management. It's a complex, unbreakable bridge between physical assets and digital management.
Section 3. The Rise of Agentic AI.
Now let's pivot from the physical depot over to the digital workplace. The 2026 Microsoft Work Trend Index perfectly captures this parallel transformation we're talking about. AI is evolving so fast, moving way beyond those simple, isolated chatbots where you type a prompt and wait for a text response. We have officially entered the era of AI agents.
We're talking about systems capable of autonomously planning, reasoning, and executing really complex, multi-step workflows. To make it concrete, instead of an AI just drafting an email for you to copy and paste, an AI agent can actively monitor your inbox, draft the best response, update your CRM with the client's new info, and automatically send the reply while you are literally fast asleep. We are moving from simple, accessible expertise to actual autonomous agency.
But despite all that massive potential, there's a pretty stark reality on the ground. Experimentation is wildly outpacing scaling right now. While 62% of organizations are out there experimenting with AI agents, only 23% are actually scaling them into their core operations. Curiosity across the enterprise is sky high, but true wide-scale deployment is still super elusive for the vast majority of companies out there. People are basically playing in the digital sandbox, but they aren't building the skyscraper yet. They hit these brick walls of messy, unstructured legacy data, or they just freeze up due to completely valid security and compliance fears, which ends up keeping these amazing tools restricted to just a tiny handful of users.
And because of that severe lack of scale, despite all the breathless hype we hear every day, only 39% of organizations report any EBIT impact at the enterprise level from their AI use. Sure, they're seeing localized benefits. Maybe the IT department is writing code faster, or the marketing team is churning out copy quicker. But localized IT savings don't translate to overall enterprise profitability if the overarching company process is still slow. I mean, saving an engineer 10 hours of coding time simply does not move the bottom line if your quality assurance and management approval process still takes 3 weeks to complete. Most companies just haven't embedded these tools deeply enough into their fundamental operating model to actually move the needle.
Section 4. Escaping Pilot Purgatory.
So how do we bridge this gap? Well, it turns out the hurdles blocking a scaled EV fleet are conceptually the exact same hurdles blocking scaled AI deployment. First, high upfront investment costs. Whether that's buying a massive physical fleet of EVs or licensing custom enterprise-grade AI models, it's a big check to write. Second, inadequate infrastructure. For fleets, it's a lack of depot chargers and local grid capacity. For AI, it's a lack of clean data lakes and technical safety guardrails. But the third one is the absolute biggest bottleneck: a lack of fundamental workflow redesign. Think about it. If you take an advanced autonomous AI agent and simply bolt it onto a broken 15-year-old approval process, you just make a bad process happen slightly faster. It doesn't solve the core issue. The exact same thing applies to fleets. If you buy brand new electric trucks but dispatch them on legacy gas station routing schedules, the battery dies halfway through the day and the pilot fails entirely. You simply cannot plug next-gen tech into legacy processes.
Escaping pilot purgatory really requires a fully connected ecosystem. You absolutely cannot operate in these isolated silos anymore. The vehicles, the charging hardware, the utility grid, and the software all have to talk to each other instantaneously. And that exact same principle applies to an enterprise AI transformation. You have to connect your foundational data infrastructure, your customized AI models, and your everyday human workflows into one cohesive, integrated entity. If any single piece of that triad is disconnected, the whole capability breaks down, and boom, you drop right back into the pilot phase.
Section 5. Secrets of High Performers.
So what are the top performers actually doing to achieve this integration? They follow a pretty strict 3-step playbook. Step 1. They fundamentally redesign workflows from the ground up. They don't just automate the old tasks. They completely reimagine the work around the new capability. Step 2. They target growth and innovation, not just cost-cutting. Instead of using tech just to shrink headcount and save a few bucks, high performers use AI and connected fleets to create entirely new product lines, offer unprecedented delivery speeds to clients, and capture totally new market share. And step 3, they implement rigorous human-in-the-loop processes. They recognize early on that the technology, no matter how advanced it gets, does not run itself.
These high performers also back up those transformative visions with serious, committed capital. Over a third of these leading organizations commit more than 20% of their entire digital budgets to these specific initiatives. They aren't just dabbling with a few $1,000s in some localized department pilot. Committing a fifth of your entire digital budget, that is a massive signal to the market and to your internal teams. It implies a foundational enterprise rewrite, a real recognition that this isn't just a standard IT upgrade, it's a core business strategy.
And all of this leads us to the ultimate goal, a concept experts are calling hybrid intelligence. The objective of scaling these massive shifts isn't to replace humans with AI or isolated algorithms. It's to empower humans who have real-world domain expertise to interact with and manage these smart systems at an unprecedented scale.
Whether it's a logistics dispatcher using an intelligent AI platform to flawlessly manage 500 electric trucks and balance their power grid draw, or a knowledge worker using a swarm of AI agents to conduct deep, multifaceted market research in a matter of minutes, the absolute magic happens when human judgment pairs with technological scale to create true superpowers. Which brings us to the final critical question that you and your leadership team really need to sit down and ask yourselves. Are you actively redesigning your business, your workflows, and your infrastructure to take full advantage of these incredible tools? Or are you just sitting back, running endless little pilots, and waiting for the tools to eventually redesign your business for you? The high performers out there have already made their choice, and they are pulling rapidly ahead. The question is, will you proactively rewrite your future, or are you going to let someone else write it for you?